My name is Madison Downey, and this semester I created an advocacy project focusing on student mental health. I chose this project because it meant a lot to me. I know a lot of kids in middle school and high school suffer with mental illness and they feel like they can't talk to anybody. And I was one of those kids when I was in school, and I just know that oftentimes it can be hard to find the resources that you need. So I was really inspired to create resource guides for these students, as well as their teachers, to help find them the support that they need. Through my advocacy project, I had a few main takeaways. The first was that in order to break the stigma surrounding mental illness, people of all ages need to become aware of the severity of this issue and its effects that it has on the education of children. Through this advocacy project, I learned that 50% of children that have a mental illness will drop out of high school. And that really opened my eyes to just the severity of this issue and how we need to be talking about mental illness in our schools. The next main takeaway I had was that the issue of student mental health cannot be addressed without an open and empathetic mind. Without taking into account what these students are really going through, a real solution cannot be met. Without talking to the students openly and letting them know that you're really there for them, there's really no way that we can break the stigma surrounding mental illness. And the last takeaway that I had was that in order for students suffering from mental illness to get the help that they need, support must also be given to those surrounding them, including teachers, administrators, and even their parents. By supporting those who can make a difference in the lives of these children, they can get that help that they need to thrive both in and out of the school environment. So through my advocacy project, I created two resource guides, one for teachers and one for students. My teacher resource guide discussed warning signs to look for when identifying mental illness in students, as well as a couple hotlines that teachers could use to talk to somebody about a student who may be going through mental illness, how they can help them, as well as the National Suicide Helpline that they can distribute to their students. The teacher resource guide also talked about what teachers can do to help their students who may be struggling, how they can approach those conversations in an appropriate manner, and just overall how they can better address the situation of students who may be suffering. The student resource guide, on the other hand, was more of an awareness about what is mental illness, what is mental health, and why is it important. And so that one talked about if you're feeling these things or if you're going through these things, then you should talk to a trusted adult, whether that's a parent, a teacher, a counselor. And then I also provided a couple of resources through phone numbers to organizations such as the National Domestic Violence Hotline, the Suicide Prevention Hotline, and a couple other local agencies that will help these students get the help that they may need in certain areas. I distributed these resource guides to two schools in my area, Dartmouth Middle School and Hemet High School. I know a couple teachers in each of those schools, so I provided them the resource guides, and my next steps on this project are to get feedback from those resource guides. So I'm hoping that they will distribute those resource guides to other teachers and administrators in their schools so that I can get feedback on how to better improve these resource guides and get approval so that they can be used in the classroom. An unexpected outcome or challenge that I had from this project was the interview process. I had an interview lined up already with a Hema High School teacher, and last minute he had to drop out. So luckily I knew somebody else that was a teacher at Dartmouth Middle School that was able to help me out get that interview. Something I would have done differently in this project is to, I guess, be more on top of things and just research like local organizations within my town. It was really hard to find because it's a small town, but I would like to find more resources in the town of Hemet that children and teens can go to if they need somebody to talk to besides their parents. This project had a huge impact on my future because I plan to be an elementary school teacher, and it really made me realize the importance of early intervention and talking to students about what mental health is and how to take care of yourself mentally. I mean, we teach our students how to take care of their bodies physically and what to do for all of that. But we don't really talk about, how to talk to somebody when you don't feel like you're okay and that it's okay to not be okay. And it's just really important to talk about those things with your students. And I'm looking forward to being a teacher that has an open door policy when it comes to mental health, so that I can get these students the help that they may need and that they may be lacking at home. I hope you've enjoyed looking into my advocacy project on mental health, and I'm really excited for my future so that I can implement this project in it. Thank you.